That's a hell of an opening first line to a track. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Molly, and in this video I'm going to be listening to the album Hail to the King by Avenged Sevenfold. Now, I've been really enjoying getting into Avenged Sevenfold's music here on the channel. So far I've heard their 3rd, 4th, and 5th studio albums, most recently their 5th album Nightmare, which I absolutely loved. And Hail to the King is their follow-up from Nightmare. This is their 6th studio album that they released in 2013, so yeah, I'm just really excited to give it a listen and see what I'm going to think of it. Alright, so starting off Hail to the King is track 1, which is called Shepherd of Fire. Those trumpets add an interesting touch, that's for sure. Almost like a medieval flair to this song.
Let's take a moment and break the ice.
It's funny how he just said break the ice, and the sound of this percussion, it almost does sound like a pickaxe trying to break through the ice, so to speak. Like it has this sharpness to it almost.
I am your war. I'm in the strong shepherd of fire.
I love how he drew out that word fire so much. There's such a weightlessness to this guitar solo. They just play with such fluidity and ease, at least by the sounds of it. It's amazing.
Through the ages of time, I've been known for my hate. Shepherd of fire.
Okay, that was for sure an impressive vocal delivery. Well, that was track 1, Shepherd of Fire. I absolutely loved the atmosphere of that one, how it started and ended with this sort of brooding moodiness almost, like a haunted quality. The trumpets too kind of added an interesting touch to that song. Like I said, it almost gave it this sort of medieval style with its sound. And the chorus would kind of rise up, and it brought a lot of this sort of speedy, clean sounding quality, and then they would kind of pull it down back into that more haunted, darker sound. But an amazing way to get this album started. I'm definitely excited to hear more, so I'm going to move on to track 2, which is called Hail to the King.
Watch your tongue, I'll have it cut from your head.
That's a hell of an opening first line to a track. Watch your tongue or I'll have it cut from your head.
Hail to the king.
That guitar tone, I love it. It's so clean. It just like pierces through all of the darker, more sludgy elements of this song, and it just brings such a strong clarity to its tone. It's awesome.
When the henchmen call, hail to the king.
That was track 2, Hail to the King. That song was so measured and precise. That guitar I just absolutely loved throughout that whole thing. It was very steady and it just had that amazing clear tone to it. But then it was kind of contrasted with these elements of heaviness, a sort of darkness that would pull it down as well. Like you had those chanting vocals in the background and sometimes a little bit of an echoiness going on. All right, up next is track 3 called Doing Time. Is this one continuous vocalization? That's impressive.
With a loaded hair trigger and a one-way ticket to fly. Everybody's doing their time.
There's some really subtle background vocals going on here. There's such a screechiness to that guitar, man. That was track 3, Doing Time. Certainly a speedy little track, that's for sure. That one just kind of hit the ground running with all of the energy. What really impressed me on that one was his vocal delivery. On a couple of lines with that track, he would hold his voice out for so long and it almost had this sort of growliness to it, just really impressive. But moving on to track 4 is This Means War. Okay, quite an explosive start to this one.
Hide my face again. Die with the guilt of 1,000 AWOL soldiers.
Yeah, that effect they're doing. It's like all this noise starts flooding in and then they just kind of stop it with such abruptness.
Take aim a loaded gun. Hold back on all who run. This means war.
See how these two guitars are contrasting each other so much? This lower one is so dense, it almost has a fuzziness to it. And then this main guitar is just really clear and sharp and it's like it's flying all around.
No home to call my own. No finding someone new. No tattered flag to raise. Along the razor's edge. This means war.
Again, the percussion stood out to me right there. They're just doing some really creative things that almost sounded like gunfire going off.
This means war.
That was track 4, This Means War. Such an explosiveness to that one. It was like they were delivering that song in these quick, short, sharp bursts almost of sound. Like the percussion was really emphasizing that, and that effect they were doing too in the background was really cool. It's almost like this noise was being shot at you or something, and then it would come to an abrupt end. Alright, up next is track 5, which is called Requiem.
Prodigia comploratus citium.
Some sort of choir there at the beginning. I don't know what language that was that they were singing in.
I walk stricken, pitch black vision. Flames. Nature.
How they just stop the song like that. I love it.
Of the earth in flames.
There's such a grandness to this song, man. Like right here with this guitar solo, you have these stringed instruments going on in the background, like this orchestral element.
I stand guilty. I bleed filthy red flames.
That was track 5, Requiem. That one was kind of different. I loved the use of the choral singers, like how it started with them singing in that different language. And that one was interesting too. There was almost a smoothness to it, like this back and forth quality, but then the percussion would come in and just bring like this rapid fire of intensity almost to break that up. Moving on to track 6 is Crimson Day.
Dark years, the sun came out and brought you through.
The sun came out and brought you through, and the tone of this instrument, whatever it is that they're playing, has such a sunny, bright sound to it.
I've been wrong. I wonder what you're dreaming of.
Right, some violin just there, it sounded like.
A lifetime I'm full of words to say.
Interesting little effect there in the background. It almost had like this futuristic tone to it.
I've been wrong times over. Crimson Day.
There's such a gentleness to this song, like almost a peacefulness. It's very opposing to how the rest of this album has been. This song, it's almost like you're having a dream or something. It's like it pulls you out of that darkness. That was track 6, Crimson Day, a really beautifully melodic track. I'm surprised I'm saying that about an Avenged Sevenfold song because they always bring so much power and theatrics to their music. But that one was very soft in a way. It almost had this enveloping sense to it, like a very comforting sounding track. Alright, moving on is track 7, which is called Heretic. That guitar tone is amazing. It's so sludgy.
But that don't matter anyway. Marching to find heretic blood. The flames of hell burn bright.
It sounded like a tiny little bit of vocal distortion just there. Okay, this song is doing some unexpected things. I was not expecting this, I don't know what it is, mandolin or something coming in now. Again, it's almost bringing this old English flair to their sound.
Please don't leave me.
This guitar solo is all over the place. It just sounds so manic.
Masses marching to find heretic blood.
That was track 7, Heretic. You know how I mentioned on the last track it being really soft for Avenged Sevenfold? I think they were making up for that on Heretic because that one just had so much heaviness to it. There were some really interesting things they were doing very subtly in the background too. A little bit of vocal distortion at times, and it almost sounded like there was this breathing sound effect. I don't know if I was just hearing things. Just kind of this underlying sinister quality to that song. But moving along to track 8 is Coming Home.
I've been away, searching for a reason. I stared the devil in the eyes.
A tiny little bit of echoiness just there.
Gates apart. Question my conviction. Gave armies reason.
The bass just there, I noticed. That was an interesting sound.
I'll be coming home. The desert rain has washed away direction. Live again.
I love how the chorus of this song just smooths out so beautifully, and it almost has this peaceful quality. Man, their guitarist is talented. There's such a precision to the sound of this.
Not far from where we started. My weary limbs.
I love that bass. Every now and again when it shines through, it just adds so much to their music.
Live again. Coming home.
That was track 8, Coming Home. That was a wonderful sampling of all of the talent of Avenged Sevenfold coming together in one track. The bass was shining through at times, and then the tone of that guitar on that guitar solo was absolutely fantastic. His vocals too were so beautifully smooth on the chorus. Even though he was bringing a lot of power to him, there was almost something kind of emotional coming through in his tone of voice as well. Alright, moving on to track 9 is Planets. It almost sounds like a trumpet or something that I'm hearing at the start here. I love how he's saying planets collide, and the instrumentals are coming to these abrupt stops, and it is almost like a collision of sorts. It's cool how they're doing that. That's certainly some speedy playing right there. Well, that was track 9, Planets. A lot of intensity, a lot of grandiosity with that one. The flair that that trumpet added was certainly unique. Again, it kind of brought about images in my head of a medieval warfare going on or something. I loved his vocal delivery too on the chorus when he was saying planets collide, just with so much heaviness and aggression. And then the instrumentals kind of mirrored what he was saying with how they would stop all of a sudden, and it kind of had this crashing effect to it. But moving on is the final song on Hail to the King, which is track 10 called Acid Rain. I love the percussion right here. It's like these little pockets of exploding sound, if that makes sense.
Our day is come. What's the name?
I loved that build-up on the chorus with the violin and everything. It almost has like a Bond theme quality to it.
You will always be my heart when I'm facing it with you. Not even stars last forever.
Yeah, his vocal delivery on this one is a little bit drawn out. It's got this incredible smoothness to it, which I really enjoy.
Still here. Children still play.
Well, that was track 10, Acid Rain. Sort of an ominous ending to that one with that. It sounded like a thunderstorm going on, something very ambient about it. That whole track, though, was like a whirlwind of sound. It kind of swept you up into that storm of noise going on, but it was beautifully smooth from beginning to end, too. And with the orchestral instrumentation, too, like that violin that I kept noticing, it just had this amazing grandness to it, and it was certainly a great finale to this album. Well, that concludes my reaction to Hail to the King, the 6th studio album from Avenged Sevenfold. I had an absolute blast listening to this thing. There's so much variety on it, and they did so much in its runtime. With the infusion of the melodic moments at times, I loved their use of the orchestral instrumentation as well, and they blended that with so much heaviness, a bit of sludginess too, and it just all worked together fantastically. Track 1, Shepherd of Fire, is definitely one of my favorites on first listen. The way he would draw his vocal out on that one word fire on the chorus, I just just thought was amazing. Also, track 2, the title track, I thought the instrumentation was absolutely impeccable on that. The guitars and everything and the way they were playing them, just so precise. And also track 7, Heretic, I really enjoyed. That one had a little bit more heaviness to it, kind of a sludginess that was coming through. But yeah, Hail to the King, another wonderful addition to Avenged Sevenfold's discography, and I would love to hear even more from this band, so let me know in the comments which album you want me to do next from them. And yeah, as usual, thank you all so much for watching, stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video.